Hi! Welcome to the Stockinette Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jane Itma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 124.
Cool.
124. And we have been off for a glorious 2 weeks. And I don't know what made it glorious, but it's a fun adjective to say. Exuberantly.
I didn't go on a huge vacation like you did. So.
We kind of forgotten what we're doing. Like, what do we do here again? Oh, right, we have to start recording. We can't just sit here and talk all night.
Yeah.
Nope. Yes, I did have a wonderful vacation. I have regaled my coworkers with stories of all the things that we've done, but ultimately it boils down to it was kind of like parenting boot camp. Like, if we stayed at VRBO, which we really enjoyed, I think my favorite part about this condo was it was part of a complex, and so they had like group amenities, like you could go to a swimming pool, indoor swimming pool, and they had mini golf and a playground, but it also had a washer and dryer.
Oh,
and
nice.
We didn't pack enough warm clothing for warm weather, so like shorts. So like I just wore the same two shorts repeatedly, but one was in the wash and one was yeah. But yeah, we hiked, we biked, we swam, we went to a water park, we went to an amusement park, we went to a dock and kind of played in the water. It was really cold. Like, we played games about who could stand in the water the longest because your feet, just like the veins popped out of them. The water was so cold. We went to a fish hatchery. We went to Dixie Stampede, which is a horse show. I sent a picture of Amy, of a horse named Amy. Beautiful Palomino horse. We went everywhere. It was like the kids went to bed, and because they were all in one bunk bed, like the bottom bed was it's like a queen almost, I think, so the boys could sleep this way. We had brought an extra mattress, but we didn't need it because the boys could sleep that way, and then Ellie slept on the top, and they didn't go to sleep because it was all novel being in the same room and in a different bed, but like my head hit the pillow and I was sleeping because I was tired. We went, walked everywhere, hiked everywhere. So yeah, it was a good time. I feel like I came back. It was warmer there than it was here. We kind of brought some of that warmness with us. Did you notice when we came back on Saturday that it got warmer?
Yeah, seemed to have gotten a little bit warmer.
And yeah, it was probably my favorite family vacation that I've been on with my all three kids.
Okay.
So we had a good time.
Could be that they're just all getting older and handling everything better.
Yes. I look forward to many great ones to come.
Okay.
Here's hoping.
Yeah. We did not leave. We had fun come to us. And so my son's best friend ever stayed with us, and their family. Of course, they're all friends of ours, but you know, Justin was particularly excited to get his best friend back for a week.
Which is good. Which is a good thing, because he's sometimes aloof, right?
He is a loner, as it were. He likes to read, and I don't know. He is into solitary sports.
And reading, which is solitary.
Yeah. So he got to hang out with his friend, and I could hear them like up talking, like, you know, when they were doing the sleepover business, you know, I don't know. It was fun. And yeah, it was just kind of relaxing, you know. The adults of the family, you know, came and go as they needed to, because they had a lot of people to get to visit, and we hung out at night when everything that they were doing got done, and I don't know, it was fun.
And you worked?
Yeah.
Or did you take days off?
I took 3 days off. And I worked the last 2 of the week.
Cool.
A lot going on.
Yes, and a lot of knitting went on, and the knitting world continued on, and retreat planning continued on, but we've got some administrati.
Okay.
Are you ready for said administrati?
I don't know what we're talking about. Giveaways, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. Yay!
I just didn't know if you were done talking. I didn't want to be like, Amy, wrap it up. No more personal
We
talk.
got a lot of things to talk about, so you're welcome to start.
Okay.
Do the giveaway.
I'm being uber sensitive, touchy-feely. It's okay. You're okay. I'm okay. We're all okay. So we had the wonderful Dream in Color folks send us this new base, Jilly. And now that I've seen Miss Jenna's TML Monomania, I'm kind of like, oh, that Jilly was on sale, and I could have picked out some fantastic colors. Oh, I loved the bitter, and I loved the, what other one did I love? It was a green.
Mine was like Island, and like I had my favorites.
But you could have knit that together into a cardigan, couldn't you?
Yeah. Anyway, I successfully resisted as well.
Yes.
It was hard.
Fun. I can just keep on like. But we are, and we will be giving away this. And so we had 2 through 245. And to enter, you had to tell us what you would pair it with and what you would make. And the winner was 2 through 245. Random number generator, randomly selected 180, who is Water Pixie. And she said that she would choose Basalt, and she would make a Lindisfarne, which I kind of want to make as far as 2-color shawls. And so, Water Pixie, if you can contact me, I shall send this bit of loveliness to you. And then you can either make a shawl or pick out another color and make it so. Cool. Yes. And then we also have the self-striping March wrap-up. Did you get any April Fool's Day things pulled on you?
No.
I was just curious. We went spelunking. That was another thing we did. So we went to a cave, and we took a family picture with my phone, and Google as a April Fool's Day joke had the Hoff photobomb our picture.
I noticed that. It was pretty well done for being,
Yeah, and then I saw on at midnight that they showed other ones where the Hoff was photobombing, and they looked good as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought that was funny. But anyway, that was April. The cutoff was April 1st. That's where my mind went.
Yeah, I think that the biggest prank that happened in our house is my husband woke up the kids and said, "We're having chocolate for breakfast. April Fools." Or something like that. We're having candy for breakfast. April Fools.
Yeah, we didn't, I can't remember. I think Ellie may have been like, "Look, there's a," and then there wasn't. I think that was about as April Fool's Day as we got, other than Hoff photobombing us. The Hoff photobombing.
I checked out my hat on Ravelry, of course, and I had a Pharrell type hat on.
Were you happy?
Yeah, I was very happy.
I can't remember what I had.
I don't either.
Somebody let me know what I had. HG Yarns was our March self-striping sponsor, and this is their MCM base in the Storm's Companion. Kind of thin stripes that progress through gradiently in rainbow, but they intermix, which is pretty fun. And they knit samples up for their packaging. Max, you are snoring very loudly. He's kind of been attached at my side since being back. He missed me. Even after I brushed him, he missed me. So thank you very much to HG Yarns for sponsoring March, and that was super exciting. And the winner of that bit of wonderfulness was 2 through 630, and the winner was 389, who is Jean the One Bean. Jean the One Bean knit some patents socks. I can't remember the pattern name now. I had it in my head because I just looked at it. And if you want to contact me, Jean the One Bean, I can send this bit of wonderfulness to you. And just a heads up, the April self-striping sponsor is Juliana's Fibers. And she wanted to give you guys a heads up that she did something to her back. And so her shop isn't as fold. That's what you do to a single, right? You fold a single. With self-striping as she would like it to be, but just a heads up.
Okay.
If you find some out there that your heart desires, then go for it. But she is ours, and I didn't grab it. I have it. I can show it off next week. So get your self-striping entries in. Again, cumulative, so if you miss March or you're just brand new to the whole shebang, 4 entries max. So get your 4 entries in at this point, and then next month it'll be 5, so on and so forth. Do you have any FOs? I know you do.
Many.
Many.
So I put out like my little, like, I don't know, I think, did I take a picture on Instagram? I don't remember. I had like a pile of FOs and I said, I want to finish these. And I actually did.
Works in progress.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, whips. And I said, I want to finish these. So this is in the bag because it is clean. And there is a cat right there. But this is my surrogate knitting. So it got done. And it's been blocked. So the arms come down to about here. It's really nice. And it seemed to fit me pretty good. And it's supposed to be for a 38 bust, I believe. But I did do a quick test, and it did fold over like quite a bit when I was.
Did you heave your bosom?
I tried. Doesn't heave very far.
Mine either.
But that got done, and it's very nice,
yes.
And it can go back to its owner. But yeah, it's going into the lovely Target bag.
Look at you.
Back into the Target bag, no cat fur.
Hermetically sealed for your pleasure.
I'm trying. It's not easy to keep cat hair off of things, but at the very least you can throw it in with some wool wash and it'll be really nice again. Oh my goodness.
That was scalloped something? Bless you.
Yeah, tailored scallop or something. Yeah. It was nice. It was like when I tried it on to see if it was bigger, big enough, and it was blocked, so I wanted to see how long the arms ended up, and I could, I was like, oh, this is nice. It's flattering. For being a bulky weight, the lace gave it enough drape that it didn't seem like it was super bulky. And yeah, it was fun. It's pieced, if you're not into pieced things, it might be a bit of a challenge. Yeah, pieced and lace together. But yeah, it seemed to go quickly, and it's done now, and I'm happy to send it off back to its owner. If you wanted to send me a reminder email with your address, would be awesome. So, because I'm sure I can go back through and find it, but if you could, if you're watching and you say, hey, that's mine, send me a reminder email with your address.
Amy's going to claim lazy.
Yep, I'm going to claim lazy. If you send it to me, it'll get to you faster. And I also finished my skip rib socks for my friend Sarah. And it's got lots of room. It can stretch.
Very stretchy pattern.
So it's wonderful. These will fit her to perfection, I believe. And this was my first time knitting with no makers. So I had this skein in my stash for a while now, and it just happened to be the colors that made her heart sing. So we went with that. I don't know. I liked it. It was the color was interesting as I was knitting, very very much so. I'll let Sarah tell you about the wearability or whatever, because I don't own any socks made out of no makers, so I can't speak to that. But it was nice to knit with. I had a few splits, but I think that was my fault. Not necessarily the problem with the yarn. And then I got a KAL mittens. So these had a little bit of a calamity because I knit the second mitten twice. Because the first time I knit it, I must have had a really crazy, insane loose gauge. Because it was the size of a giant's hand, and I just thought, like, oh, that, when I wash it and I block it, it'll be fine. And no. So I reknit the entire thing again. And, knitting it a second time, it just flew by. So these were actually very quick knit. The first one, and then again the second one where I was being loosey-goosey or whatever. But when I sat down to knit it for the third time, I was just determined, and it only took like 2 days.
Did you have to redo the ribbing and everything?
I redid everything.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it was, I don't know, it was a train wreck, and it had already been washed and blocked. So I had to completely rip it out, get the yarn straight again. So, wash it, hang it.
Yeah. I've never done that.
Yeah.
I've just used it kinky.
No, I don't like that.
She doesn't like kinky yarn.
I don't like working with it, because then it messes with your gauge, or it makes you think it's messing with your gauge, because you can see where, like, if there's a ripple where you put in the, I don't know, it looks bad until you block it. But while I'm knitting on it, I don't like to see that it looks like a mess.
I can honestly say, because I've just recently started doing color work, I've never used kinky yarn in color work, so.
And, well, even in stockinette, you knit with stockinette and kinky yarn, and if it's not the exact gauge, like this was like bad gauge going to good gauge, so it wouldn't have been in the same gauge. It looks terrible until you wash and block it again.
I noticed it.
But then, so I actually participated in RKL. I have a stranded thing done.
Super extra points.
Yay. Now I have the forever. Josh, I love you. I may not ever do another shawl from you.
Okay.
Explain. The reason I say that is because I knit his Mystery KL, and I knit a Stephen West Mystery KL, and then this KL, and all 3 Mystery KLs had a bajillion ends to weave in. And so, like, I almost want to know ahead of time, how many ends? Is this intarsia? I don't want to do it. Because, I don't know, when you're putting, it wasn't that bad. After each clue, you're supposed to weave them in. But when I sat down to it, I was like, am I going to put myself through another Mystery KL? Hold that.
I sure can.
So it turned out really big.
And this is Sun Valley Fibers.
Yep, this is MCN. Sun Valley Fibers. And they just happen to be colors that I had in my stash, so it just worked out perfectly.
I really think the blue pops.
Yes, I think that it turned out so fun and so wonderful. So again, Josh, I love it. It's amazing. I think that it will be treasured, but those
it's like
ends,
childbirth. She'll forget by the time the next one comes around.
That's true. That's true.
Oh.
I mean, 'cause I knit that striped pullover that had all those ends in the side. I never wove those in, but you can't do that on a shawl.
You can't just braid it.
Nope. And then I had an issue with weaving in the ends on the edge because it was getting too bulky in places. Noticeably bulky. And so I had to rip them out and try to do them a different way. So maybe that was also part of my frustration.
We'll put a little asterisk on that Amy is very particular about the way. I think you have like a little, you like when stitches are, you notice if a stitch is a little looser than the others, and she doesn't like kinky yarn, and so yeah, I could see that. It would be something I would notice as well, but I'm just pointing it out and making fun of you because you just said it.
Yes, I did. But this is, I don't know, I really enjoy it. I mean, I think it was the Graphic Infection in Fire and Ice. Maybe it wasn't Fire and Ice. Earth and Sky? It's probably Earth and Sky.
Yes.
So Earth and Sky, Graphic Infection, and now Greek Fire, as my beautiful intarsia-esque shawls with lots of ends.
Very fun.
And again, I say esque because then you didn't really have to do crossover to this. It was just a lot of short rows where the short row just ended and you cut the yarn. So lots of cut the yarn, break the yarn. But yeah, it turned out really nice.
I like
it's
it.
Very big.
It's very pretty.
And the yarn is nice. So it'll be very warm and squishy and work out with you. But yeah. So now, now what am I going to work on?
I'm sure you've got something lined up.
I finished 4 things. What did you finish?
Okay. I am wearing the socks that I finished. So these are the Adventures in Yarncraft. They're British Isles, for British Isles base. So they're
I have some of that.
So they're BFL in the Kingfisher colorway. And I had originally cast on the toe at Knitting Pipeline as kind of just some brainless knitting and started doing a stitch motif, and I didn't like it. And so I kind of did the same thing when I was there. I had ripped that out and I just did some cabley goodness there. I will probably be writing that pattern up. Oh look, it made a fun little
pattern
on my foot. The inside is kind of pretty. I like the way it looks. It almost looks like rivulets.
Yep.
But it's cables and skips. Speaking of skips. And these went everywhere with me. They went spelunking, they went bike riding, they went picnicking, they went everywhere. So all of those memories are kind of inwoven when I look at those now. And I really do like the base. It has like a grist to it. Like it's substantial but yet soft. And I appreciate that about it. I will report back later, but I think that it will be long wearing. I finished the blanket, which was, I almost could have left it at home because I finished it in the car ride down. And before we left, I set the blanket down over here and I was working the 2 ends. So I made a triangular shawl into a square, and then I added these rectangular panels at the end, and I just wanted to go until I ran out of yarn. So I was working from both ends until the ball got small enough that I set it down over there and I walked across the room and into the sun porch, like carrying the yarn together so it would have equal amounts of yardage, and then just got to the end and snipped it. So this is how much of yarn was left after I got done. And it blocked out really nice. I think that when it was, unblocked, obviously, it kind of rippled a little bit, but now it's a little easier to see the arrow motifs in it, just because it's not rippling. And I was really pleased. I kind of said an extra prayer when I put it in the washing machine, because again, it's not going to survive in my house if it can't go in the washing machine. But this is Malabrigo Worsted, which is a single ply worsted, and then I don't think it's super wash.
No, it's not.
So it did really well.
It did. It did not felt.
It did not felt, considering that I put it in the washing machine on the little whoosh whoosh setting.
Yep.
And I've not yet given this to my daughter. So
I just have to say, anybody who thinks wool is itchy needs to have this blanket.
It's super soft.
It's wonderful.
And yes, Malabrigo. It was super soft to work with, and I enjoyed the pattern. It was something. If I had just done this in garter, I don't know that I would have
survived.
I know I would have finished it because I am a finisher, but it would have been far less entertaining than having kind of like a shawl where I added some garter at the edges. And so I'm excited to give that to Els. She saw it last when it was wet. She couldn't have it yet. Can I lay it on my bed? No, you'll have wet wool on your bed. And then last, I did some unselfish knitting. I made and notice I have him back, a Noodle for my son Quentin as a potty incentive for potty training, for him to do his hero's duty in the potty. And it's out as 3 Irish girls in the Bryn colorway, which on their Dorn base, which I had leftovers that he picked out, and I finished it on the car ride down, and car ride was good for sewing things on. Like, it didn't seem as futzy because I was in a small space, and it was, I don't know, it just seemed like the right place to do my sewing on of appendages for some reason. I had a little place to set things over here, and I was just going to town. Like, it was the right time and place to do it. And then he sat in a bag. I went, look, Quinn, you can have him if you go potty you do your duty on the potty. And it wasn't until the night before we left that we were putting lotion on him in the living room, and he didn't have a diaper on, and he went, I have to go, like, I'm going. And so he went and sat on the potty, and he got him. And then I warned him, once you poop your pants again, I'm taking him back. And he hasn't done his duty on the potty again. So I still have it.
Darn.
I know, right? It was so exciting until it wasn't. It was kind of anticlimactic. And then Dexter got his little Scrappy out, and they stood next to each other holding him. Cute. It was super cute. So this is by Susan Claudino. It's the Noodle pattern, and I highly recommend it. He's a cutie. Hootie badootie. Stuffed him up good with my little on-the-go stuffing, and away he went. And that's that.
Okay.
The two things got finished in the car, and then I worked on my socks primarily, and then this on the way back. So, what are you working on?
I am working on my homework for Yarn Over. So we have a wonderful event in Minneapolis that is a bunch of teachers teaching classes, and Megan and I ended up in the same classes this year, so I can declare her partnership with more famous people. Anyway,
we were late to Clara Parks' class, and Amy walked in and declared,
well, that my partner was in the bathroom. And I don't know whether she thought that she was my
would have been cool.
life partner.
Yeah. We did tell people that we were getting married in 2004.
We did.
So.
Not to each other.
No. Just in September of 2004 we got married.
We did.
We were going to bridal events and telling people that, but that's fine. That's a misunderstanding that I am willing to accept.
Yeah, it's okay. They can think that.
You're my yarny wife.
Yeah.
We get married every June.
Too. It's a big production. We get married every June. It's wonderful.
Yeah. We renew our yarny vows. Anyway,
but this is for the Franklin Habit class, and it's on steeking. So I'm making a little steeking thingy. Since I have never done steeking, and it'll be a new adventure for me.
Likewise. I didn't realize, I did realize homework, we had homework because you mentioned we had homework, but then I didn't put two and two together. Is it a worsted weight, or can it be any weight?
I'm sure for demonstration purposes and being able to help us, you wanted it to be worsted,
okay.
But that, and it's supposed to be able to be a usable cowl at the end, and it's 132 stitches cast on, so, that's about right.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely going to need to block this because it's over halfway finished. Can you imagine?
It's a necklace.
But I don't know how much further I really want to take it. I have some leftovers, so I could make it into an actual cowl length if I felt
Was
like
that
it.
from Emily's blanket?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. We knit some squares for Miss Emily. And
memorable memories in that yarn. What else?
And then I started my inversibles by Fiber Nymph, and I'm doing 2 at a time. I don't know why, just because they were already pre-done in, their separate balls. I was like, might as well start them at the same time.
And it's fun that you can watch them inverse.
Yes, I can watch them grow and be inversed.
Complimentary.
It's very cool. So I got the black and red ones. I'm not sure what pattern I'm going to do. I might just make something up as I go. I was telling Megan I have a thought, but if it ends up being like the other thing you showed me tonight, it's going to be like, nah, rip it out.
Yep.
Start and do a regular pattern.
I think that's the thing that, like I mentioned previously, that a lot of people don't realize is you spend a lot of time just ripping things out and redoing it when you're designing.
Yep.
I don't often have like exactly in my mind able to translate into yarn and stitches. So, and that's it. You finished all of those things and you didn't cast on a bajillion things?
Well, these were my cast-ons.
Okay.
And actually this got cast on this evening. So, I mean, it's
wow, that was quick.
Yeah, it was
one night.
Very quick. And I don't know why it's going so quick. I mean, the kids really wanted to watch Spider-Man, and I was like, okay, I'll sit here and knit. Yeah, I haven't gotten anywhere on my tank tops because I had the goal of finishing those 4 things. And then I cast on these 2 things this week. So, this was because I needed bust knitting, and this was because I needed to get it done before we go to our class. So now it might be the goal, it will be this thing, and then these will be my bust knitting. But as soon as this is done, tank tops.
Yeah.
I'm excited to work on warm weather.
And I don't know if I interrupted you or not, but Minnesota Knitters Guild, or Minnesoters Knitters Guild, as I like to say, does a really fantastic job with Yarn Over.
Yes.
They get top-notch teachers, and the price is really reasonable, and they do a good job. They have a marketplace, and if you're hereabouts, definitely go check them out. Check them out. I was saying that kind of Minnesotian in me. I am knitting on the Hito Fude by a name I don't think I can pronounce. Hiroku Fukatsu. Fukatsu. And Hitofude, it means single brush stroke in Japanese. And so everything is one contiguous piece, which is kind of fun. And I'm knitting this out of the Leading Man Fiber Arts Soliloquy base. And I thought it was pretty fantastic in the skein, and then it was pretty fantastic while I was balling it up. But I really think that this is just a perfect match. Just fantastic for what I want it for, which is it's going to be like something to throw on over a t-shirt at the retreat or during the summer when you just need kind of like a light layer, because it's very lacy and it's very light. It's fingering on size 4s. And it's just nice. I mean, right now it looks super small. Please don't judge. It's kind of like
I've
ribbing.
seen it block out.
Yeah, it's kind of like ribbing, and then it just kind of. But like I've put this on. I'm in the middle of a row now, or I would put it on for you. And it, the sleeves fit just fine.
Yep.
They're going to be about elbow length.
I have seen this garment in progress with other people, and I know that stretches. And
It uses a 3 needle bind off. If you work this part, I don't think I'm giving away too much of the pattern, but you work the arm parts flat, and then I was very concerned about making sure that I got the pattern going the same direction, because if you flipped it the other way, then you would be working opposite. And so I was very, I think I did the part where you bind off for the neck hole like a couple times, just because I was like, now if I'm going the other way. And then the instructions were that would be my only complaint about the pattern. Like it said step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and I didn't realize that was all one row.
Oh.
Like I was thinking step 1, and then you're going to go to step 2, and then you're going to bind off. And so I was doing the mental rotating of things and trying to figure out pattern. And I'm sure the pattern would have been right if I had just trusted it and done it. But I was thinking ahead and kind of chess playing. And I didn't need to. The pattern was just fine. But, sometimes you overthink things.
Yes.
And so, going super fast. It's going to get Right now I'm still working flat, and then it's going to get blousey. It kind of goes out like the, what am I thinking of? Vitamin D. That's kind of radial at the bottom. And I'm enjoying it. There is a Twitter KAL called Tweeto Fude. KAL. TWIFUDEKAL. And there's several folks participating in that. I can't say enough about the pattern and the yarn and their combination thereof. I mean, the pattern calls for 300, in my size, I think the small size only needs 200 grams and the largest size needs 400 grams. But these skeins of soliloquy are ginormous. There's like 600 yards. Yeah, 150
grams.
Yeah. So, you know, it would be only once you got up into the, I'm trying to do the positional 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, the 41 to 45 inch bust that you would need a third ball of soliloquy.
Okay.
So, leave me with my birds. Check them out. Envy. Oh, God, I love this color. It's so. A couple people were giving me a little guff that perhaps I need to knit some garments that aren't green, but you do what makes you happy. And this is what's in my stash. So.
Yeah. Not going to go buy anything,
no.
Right? Because you're going to stick with it.
I am. Just keep saying it loud and proud, and maybe I'll believe myself.
What's your counter at now?
I don't know. Something very low, not 83.
Right, because you bought the Life is Beautiful.
I did.
So now you're behind.
I am. That's okay. Life is beautiful. I have kind of started thinking about, I will be buying things at the Zombie Knitpocalypse, and perhaps I should tell people, like, maybe you should bring a sweater quantity.
Yeah.
And I'll buy it, because I've given myself permission. Won't need to restart the counter, because well, maybe I should, because I am adding to my stash. Anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Confessions of a yarnaholic who is, it was everything I could do not to binge, by the way. Once I reset that counter, I was like, well, I might as well just buy this and this. No.
It's kind of like on that diet when you have that piece of chocolate and you're like, no, that's still within, it's still okay. I can recover. I don't need to have the entire chocolate cake now. Because I had that.
But it's all lost. I can just, tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah.
Did you have any purchases? I do not. I didn't go to any yarn stores. I did not see one knitter in Missouri. I need some people on the boards telling me that there are knitters in Missouri because I saw none of them.
That's funny.
I was sitting at the water park knitting and I was like, strangely, I am the only one here knitting. I did go on all the rides. In fact, on all of the things, it was, it's kind of like the Wisconsin Dells one. I can't remember what they're called, the water park.
There's a
where it goes ding, 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 and that bucket falls and all the water comes, and we went on all the things. I got yelled at. Like, we were playing and we were climbing up this
you got yelled at.
I'm a rebel rouser, if you didn't know. There's like this, there's all kinds of things all over this like faux wooden fort. Where like there's hoses that you can fill up buckets that are attached to a structure and dump them over. Well, Jeremy grabbed one of the hoses and was spraying me. And so I grabbed another hose that was part of this thing and I was spraying him. And all of a sudden there's this like, and I'm like, Jeremy's like, what is that? And one of the lifeguards was blowing his whistle at me because I was getting him wet.
The lifeguard wet?
Yeah, while I was trying to retaliate against my husband on the fort. I was kind of like, it's kind of an occupational hazard, buddy.
Yeah,
I mean,
chill out, man.
Dude, I know you've got
You're in a swimsuit.
Yeah,
Chill out.
He had a stocking hat on, you know, because he's cool and hip.
Okay.
But, yeah, I was kind of like, take me to jail. Lock me up, buddy. I got a lifeguard wet. Put that on my tombstone. She got a lifeguard wet once. Do you have, enabling. We've already gone through this rigmarole. Enabling,
like, I swear, like, I had to have bought something, and it's like, no, not since the yarn for the tank top, which, like, was a little bit of enabling, but it wasn't like gush, because I hadn't finished yet, using it yet.
Retreat announcements.
Woohoo, woohoo!
I know, right? It's getting so real.
I know.
Super real.
The daily countdown pictures are pretty crazy spectacular.
I'm enjoying not only like the random Google number one, but then the one that I'm putting out there that has the pictures from last year.
Yeah, I was thinking of yours.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy the other ones too, Susan, don't stop. But the ones that are pictures from last year are just getting me like, oh my gosh, it's real. We have to do this again. This is so much fun.
So the classes, we're slotting them into spots, and then we're going to give the teachers a looky-loo at the schedule, and then we'll be getting that out for folks to sign up. We've got all kinds of really cool events that we're going to be doing this year, and that will be on that schedule. And then new this year, we're planning on distributing a PDF to you with all of that information. You could have created your own PDF last year by printing the web page, but this year we'll just send it out to the email list. We've had a couple of folks joining us. I think we've got a Kansas now.
What?
For my data mining.
What?
Yep. People in Kansas knit. Missouri. I don't know. I didn't see one. And did we have any other announcements other than that things are going? We're buying swag. We're lining up fun things. We're slotting things into schedules. Amy's got a nice tentative schedule put together.
Yep. I'm trying to, it was out on the boards about doing like a wheel tasting room, and I need to talk to the lady.
She's got a lot of wheels.
Yeah, she does. And she goes to all the fiber events. So I think that she should.
One of those.
Yeah. She should be available to do a Thursday or Friday, even if she has another event. So I'm trying to line that up as well.
And I opened a forum this week of folks to say if they're looking for something specific at the market from a specific vendor, and also for vendors to share anything that they wanted to.
Yeah.
Ask any questions. What are you looking for? Do you want primarily fingering weight? Are you looking for summer yarns? Are you anything?
Yep.
Any kits you're going to put together across vendors? Any promotions you're going to be offering?
Yep. And there's people already out there doing stuff, so yeah, check it out.
Definitely check it out. We're probably nearing the end of when you'll be able to sign up for excursions, just purely by numbers. And then for me, I'm going to be ordering swag soonly, so we can't have that blow up and not be able to get folks swag. So if you are on the fence, it'll probably be in the May timeframe where that'll get shut down. Shirts sales have wrapped up, and those will be distributed. I'm thinking of big words and pausing instead of just saying the small ones. Sent out at the end of April, I believe, by the beginning of May. Okay. So that's exciting as well. And just go join the conversation. It's super fun out there, and you get to meet the folks that you're going to be spending some quality time, some QT in June.
And if you're not watching the wait list because you're on it, but you're not watching it, it's had some shifts. You might want to go check it out, see where your name is now. Because
we're offering, and some people are taking us up on it, and some of them aren't. So,
we're moving through it.
Yes. And that's exciting.
Yes, it's very exciting. But I don't know. I know that I probably wouldn't be out there checking it, so just a little heads up, like, oh, maybe it's soon. Gosh, I thought we'd talk longer. I really did. We just zoomed.
Well, we got to the knitting.
Yeah.
I was irreverent and rambly as ever. I mean,
noticed we stopped buying things. Like, what happened? We don't buy anything.
We do have an upcoming review. So we've got Kout's new accessories book that we'll be reviewing, and we'll also be giving away as part of the color work. And every single piece of color work in there is like calling my name.
Yep. There's a lot
love
of cool
all
stuff.
of those hats and mitts, and it's just gorgeous stuff. And what else do we have coming up? Exciting things.
Yeah, lots of things in the works for podcast and retreat. So, all right, bye.
Bye, Uvta.